Alrighty, folks, with me on the phone, I got, in my opinion, one of the greatest living singer-songwriters, Miss Rachel Brooke. How's it going?
Going good. How are you doing?
Pretty good. You get cozy there in your little cottage.
Yeah, it is. It's very nice, and it's actually very warm today for being middle of November.
Oh,
So
yeah, up there in Michigan, too, so you should be freezing by now.
yeah, there's usually snow on the ground. So thank God there is
All
not.
right.
I hate snow. I don't even know why I live here.
Yeah, I don't like it all that much either. Did you, how much snow do you get on average up there?
Well, I don't know. I hate it so much that I try not to even look at it. But
Is it just
there.
like snowy till fucking March, pretty much?
Oh my God, it's snowy till May.
Really? Fuck, so you're way up there.
Yeah, it's like May before it's like pretty much done.
Yeah, I knew you guys had moved north, but goddamn, you guys are really north.
Yeah, well, we're gonna be moving back. I mean, not to like Detroit, but we're gonna be moving south a little bit, so we'll be close enough to Detroit, so it'll be a little bit better downstate. So
Right on. Hopefully, you guys don't plan on moving to fucking. Oh God, what the fuck is that place? Place with all the water. Oh, Flint.
yeah, we're not going to Flint, but we're closer to Flint than Detroit.
Yeah, your guys are a little north.
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking a.
Mm.
Michigan's like a weird state, man. It's
It is,
like
but
it's
it's
like
the
the
best.
best and the worst of everything is there.
That is true. But I just try to look at the best stuff.
Yeah.
I try not to look at the bad things.
Yeah. Well, shit, you got a new album out now, right?
Yeah, I just got it out. Let's see, not even a month ago, called The Loneliness in Me. It came out on October 23rd.
How long you've been working on that for a minute, hadn't you? Because I heard the one of the songs off that. I think the title track I heard at Moonrunners when we played together. That was like almost 2 years ago.
Yeah, yeah, that was the last time I think I saw you in person.
Mhm. And the
So yeah,
first time for a long time.
it was,
It
wasn't
was good to see you. You guys were literally the first people I saw when I came through the fucking door.
it? That was the time you guys were like broke down or some shit. You
Oh
came like
yeah.
just in time to play your set, right?
Yeah, and then we had to split one. We broke down on the side of the road and we lost a U joint. So we weren't moving anywhere for a minute. So we went and rented a U-Haul. Like for a minute we were just like we're fucked. And then all of a sudden we were like, we're going to make it cuz we came all this way. Like none of us tour a bunch. So like we're like this is the first time I went on a big fucking tour in a long time. So I was like, no, fuck this. This is the biggest show we've got. There's like everybody. I want to go fucking see so many people I haven't seen for a long time. So we just rented a U-Haul. I rode in the back of that fucker from for like, oh God, probably 2.5, 3 hours. I was in the back of that thing. It's hotter than shit, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. It wasn't too bad, but
Yeah, I know. That's pretty cool though, dude. I mean, that was good. I remember
that
we
was
were sitting there when you guys came in and
that
you
was probably
played.
one of the most rock star things ever, which is weird to say. But like that's probably like really high on my list of like cool shit that I've done. Cause like I knew we were there, I could hear shit. So like I stood up in the back of the U-Haul so I didn't look like a beached whale back there. And like leaned against the wall. And then like Joshy was the one that opened the door of the back. And he had like Noah Tyson and Ian and fucking Brooke Blanche. There was a bunch of just the biggest fucking musicians in the house, and they were all like, "Just start throwing us your gear." So we just like started hucking gear out of the back of it. We were set up in like fucking 10 minutes, and yeah, it was really cool. Everybody was like happy to see us, like and fucking surprised we made it, and it was
It
cool.
was so yeah, it was cool to see it. It was like of course the best entrance of all Moonrunners history, I'm
Yeah.
sure.
And that was the one day I decided not to shower too. Like I'm like not one of those like musicians that's like, oh, I'd like to see how long I can go without showering. Like that was like one time on tour I was like, fuck it, I'm not doing it today. And then I had to sit in the back of a U-Haul and like it was like probably like 90 degrees back there.
That's probably good because I mean, if you would have showered, you would have wasted that shower because it was just so
Oh,
back.
We got a motel that night and it was so amazing. But yeah, anyways, we're supposed to be talking about your album. And I was trying to make him self-conscious because, like, in these interviews, I always talk about my fucking self. So I was like, I've been trying to make a self-conscious thing to, like, not talk about myself when I'm interviewing other people. So, but,
It's cool, man. I like hearing about your life too.
but, but, anyways, but yeah. So about the album, you'd been working on it for a while, huh?
Yeah. Well, we've been working on it, I would say about a year and a half straight before the album came out. And it was a lot of it was like some older songs. So yeah, like you said, you heard some of them at Moonrunners. And then there were some brand new ones, that we wrote specifically for the record. So and then of course we had to get in the studio and record it. And that process took a long time because I've been away for so long. I felt like I'd lost touch with a lot of like my regular playing musicians, It's like for instance, when I did A Killer's Dream, that record, I went into that studio like right off the road with Tony and Antoine from Viva La Vox, and we just like knocked it out in like fucking 3 days.
Huh.
And this one, well, yeah, and then now this one, it was kind of like pieced together because I had to like, do it. I mean, we did have like a session. We had like 3-day session where we had like the bulk of it done.
Mm-hmm.
Like we had like musicians come in. It was really fun, and we got to create and stuff like that. But I mean, it took a while to get this thing done. I would say like 9 months in and out of the studio, get this thing done. And then then there's all like the shit that you got to do before the record comes out, like the press and stuff like that, which is a big like step too. You know what I mean? You got to work ahead like 3 months, 4 months, even more than that.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, long story short, it was a big process.
Well, it turned out great, man. And, I've listened to you since forever, I mean, I think I got your first album not too long after you recorded it. And then that's when I met you too. So I've been following your career for a while. And to be honest, and blatantly honest with you, I've been pretty honest with you about how I feel about your music. But I think this is like probably your masterpiece in my opinion. I really love it. It's really good. The last one, I really liked The Killer's Dream too, but it just like, it wasn't like my version of Rachel Brooke, so like, cool, but that's cool for you too, because I wish I could be that kind of artist, like you got to step out of that realm. And sometimes I have a real fucking problem, like not fucking, that's like my biggest problem now is trying to write something that doesn't sound like all the shit I've already written,
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
So me, if I could do that and not even be happy with it, but just be happy with the quality, I'd be like proud of myself, because it's stepping out of my realm, not doing something, because it sounded great. It just like, I don't know, I'm kind of weird. Like I don't like things to change.
And yeah, I mean, like for me, I have a hard time doing the same thing twice. I can't do that because as much as I love like my regular like country music, like listening to like the same albums that I've loved throughout my life, I go back to those things for like security, maybe. I don't know what it is. But for me, I have to try new things. I have to keep being inspired to do something new. So like that was A Killer's Dream, it was a little bit different, but it was still kind of country. But this one, I remember talking to you at Moonrunners, and you had heard some of the new songs I was playing. And I remember you saying this same thing, and that you really liked these songs that are on this record, even before the record was out, that you thought it was like more like what you're used to, or from, coming from me. And I took that as a compliment. So yeah, you're good, dude. Like I'm glad that you like my stuff. And all
I was actually sitting with Brooks when you played that one song. I think it was the title track, but I looked at him and I said, I hope she's fucking cheating on you with somebody else and wrote that song about them.
Well, I'll tell you, all of those songs that are on that record were, for the most part, done me and Brooks. And
yeah.
secret I'll let you in on is some of those songs were written about me and his relationship, but just back in the very beginning when we were just starting out, and like there was some rockiness in our relationship. It was from that era that we went back to as like writing together, like going back to that spot where it wasn't the best. It really, we actually like, you know, we had like put ourselves back in that position to write those songs. So yeah, it's kind of cool. Yeah,
he told me he'd helped you. He said I think she had some help with those songs, so that's I wondered. Yeah, that's weird to know that you guys always seemed rock solid when we were like around each other. So
well, we were, but there were some gaps of, you know, well, it's a long story. I don't know if you're interested to know, but you know, there were some, we were together secretly, and then
I remember that all very well. Somebody was dating a reality TV star for a minute. Yeah, I remember. We all remember, I think. Anybody who's known you remember.
So, fuck. Brooks is not allowed to listen to this interview. I'm just going to tell him that. But no, yeah, it was kind of rocky in some parts, yes.
I think most relationships in general are pretty rocky for a while. You know, you're figuring each other out, figuring each other's moods out. And then when you start out, me and Claire almost killed each other for probably about 4 years. Like, I don't even know what kept us going through it a lot of the times, you know. But then one day, like, the clouds opened and we're like, oh, I guess we're okay now. I mean, we still fucking fight and bicker and shit because it's in our blood. Like, we need to have that almost, you know?
Yeah, no, it's eventually it's like you find your like wave together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I get it, man.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't have to go too much further into that.
Well,
I want
you know,
Brooks to be able to listen to it and not get.
Yeah, well, you know how it is. It's like those songs were like we like wrote them together. It was pretty cool. You know, like I would say like, you know, 50-50 on most of them.
Yeah, he's an amazing fucking songwriter too, man.
Oh my God, Brooks is the fucking best. Like, I'm serious. Like, I to me, there's nobody who can write like he can. And like together, I think that we're really good. And the new stuff, like we're writing some brand new stuff right now. And I'm telling you, like, dude, like this new stuff is really good. Yeah. And I don't know what's going to happen with it. Hopefully something good will come with the next record. But
is it like modern Mal stuff, or is it like just?
And that's Rachel Brooke record, and it's going to be country as country can get.
Oh, cool.
And what I mean by that is just like completely like it's going to be it, man. The next one is going to be it. I mark my words.
Right on.
Good.
Rad. Yeah, I'm excited, and I'm also excited. I know we're supposed to be talking to you about you, but I'm also excited about this vinyl from the Junk album that is coming out. I wish it was like out today because it's payday today, so I'll probably be broke by the time it comes out. So hopefully they don't sell out like really quick. That'd be my luck.
Well, hopefully they do. But hopefully, yeah, hopefully.
Yeah,
hopefully. Yeah, that record, you remember that. Like, I think like the first time that I met you, that record we had just like worked on that. I think we gave you, or, you know, like you were like maybe listening.
I think I got a copy of it burnt, actually.
Yeah.
The art came out on it.
Yeah. I mean, that's like, and the thing is when I was just talking about like how like in the beginning or whatever, we had like ups and downs and shit, all those songs, and this is something I don't ever tell anybody, but I'll tell you, and whoever listens can hear it too.
Don't worry, we got like 3 listeners, so you might bring us up. You might bring us up a bit. It's what I'm banking on. Fingers crossed. A lot of good publicity on this new album. We're hoping that you bring some of your fans to Dogwater.
Well, You never know. There could be some people listen, but so all those songs on the Junk record, Brooks wrote during that period, and they're pretty much about me.
Oh,
Like
really?
they were, yeah, like that's like the whole thing, the whole album. And I wouldn't tell anybody this, but I'm telling you. And then so like he had written all those songs about me, and then we got back together, and then that's when we recorded them together, and we were like, that's really when our relationship really started, is around that time. So now when you listen to those songs,
Oh, wow.
kind of the backstory, and
Yeah.
so it's a special kind of thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Because I thought he wrote all the songs before you guys had even met.
Mm-mm.
No.
Nope. Those were, well, there might be like one or two that were written right around the time that we met that might have been just not necessarily
Mm-hmm.
inspired by me, but the majority of them are like during that really dark period of us breaking up, and
Yeah.
you know, so it's
Yeah.
kind of cool though, to hear
Yeah.
that, to like listen to them and like remember those moments. They're so
Mhm.
fucking sad.
Yeah, that album's sad. It's like, God, I'm such a sucker for sad bastard music.
Yeah.
You know, fuck, I love it, and that was a good one, man. Too, and I think he was like, I would say up until probably a couple years before I met you, I was kind of like prominently like listening to popular music, maybe not popular in at that moment, but popular at some time, like 90s music, a lot of shit like that. So, but it was like kind of Hank 3, of course, that kind of broke those walls down, the Sawyer family. But anyways, I remember I'd never been really exposed at that point in time to like that kind of fucking music, like that was really like Tom Waitsy heavy influenced. So that was like my first introduction into that, and I remember just being like, God damn, this is good, but I'd show it to my friends and they would be like, what the fuck? And I'm like, it's just like, you got to be a special type of person to get that. I shouldn't say special person, but a special type of person to get it.
Yeah,
That
because
album's
it's supposed to
genius.
not
Huh?
yeah, it's not like a mainstream kind of thing, and it never will be, and that's what makes
Uh-huh.
it good.
And he wouldn't want it that way. It's so,
Exactly.
so fucking good. Like, that's probably one of my favorite albums. When I saw you send me that picture and I saw the artwork, fuck, I got so nostalgic. Because I don't even know. I think I've had him send me, like, I wore the first copy out, and then I think I burnt a copy of it before I wore it out so I could listen to the burnt copy. And
Yeah.
then I had him send me one in the mail because I was like, do you have any of those? And he was like, oh, I think I got some. So he sent me one, but I don't even know where the fuck it is anymore, to be honest. So when I saw that artwork, because I'll keep it on vinyl
Yeah.
forever. You can't lose a vinyl very easy. You can lose a CD in a move, but
Oh yeah, exactly.
I listen to
Yeah, and
most of my shit. I either listen to on my phone or on vinyl now, anyway. So it's
I
good.
think that's what most people do. Yeah, I think that's what most people do. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
either like phone. Like I'm just now learning Spotify and realizing that I kind of like it, as
Yeah, I
long
do
as it's
too.
kind of cool.
Yeah, I
I
don't
can
want to
just kind of.
admit I like it because it really fucks artists over, but I do like it.
I know, but I still listen to CDs. I've got
I,
a two George Jones CDs in my CD player right now that I just listen to over and over and over again because I'm like obsessed with George Jones at the moment.
yeah,
So I'm thinking that right now, like, okay, so usually this is how it goes for me. I get obsessed with an artist. And then I'm get really inspired by that artist.
yeah,
Then my music starts to kind of like I'm inspired by that, and I kind of take that on a little bit in my own stuff. So I'm thinking that my next record is probably going to be a little bit George Jones inspired. So
that's rad.
yeah, I think it's going to be good, man. I think it's
For
going to be
the
good.
Killer's Dream, you listen to a lot of Fats Domino and shit,
Yeah,
weren't you? Yeah.
I listen to Fats Domino all the time. I became obsessed with Fats. I've listened to lots of different blues, though. I was really into like this blues thing. And so that kind of just came out, and it was not even like, you know, I just like, that's what I heard a lot. I loved it so much, so then I would write things like it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of how it is for me. So I think that this next one is going to be cool. This next one's
Right
going to
on.
be,
I'm stoked. Yeah, no show Jones. Man. My favorite song by him, what the fuck is it called? It's not your typical, George Jones shit. It's the one. Uh, it's really fast paced, and
what
it's
are some of the, like, what's it about, or what are some of the
I
lyrics to
can't
it?
think of like, oh my god, I listened to it on repeat for like fucking a month straight one time, and I can't even remember like the lyrics. But it's like basically he's talking about how like he's basically talking about how he's like mutilating or getting mutilated, but it's like doesn't hurt as bad as like losing this chick, you know?
Oh, yeah. Well, there's a lot of those.
Yeah, yeah, but it's like like he
Yeah.
talks about getting his teeth pulled out and shit like that. It's really graphic, but it's like kind of funny and fast paced at the same time.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't
I love,
hurt half as much as losing you or something like that is like the something like
yep.
that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about now?
I think I do, but I have, I mean, there's so many songs that he sings like that. It's like I get them
I'll find
confused.
it and send it to you.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've had to hear it if you're on a George Jones kick. But it's not one of his
Oh yeah.
most famous ones. It's really obscure, but God, it's like my favorite one that he does.
Yeah, he's got a lot. I mean, gosh, Brooks
He's a
and I both
genius,
are really,
man. Yeah,
yeah.
fucking genius. And he was doing it. He kind of, you probably know more than me, but if I'm not mistaken, he was kind of an artist that came along in the transition of country music from like where it went to Hank Williams to kind of electric, like
Mm.
and fast paced, where the kind of the rockabilly roots kind of started showing up into the country music sound. Kind of went from that traditional honky tonk to the rockabilly sound. He's kind of in that transition area.
Well, yeah. See, like he started out, you know, like more kind of like hillbilly, like in like, you know, like that early stuff. He was like really inspired by Hank Williams and like that like 1950s, 60s, like kind of hillbilly honky tonk stuff. But then like in the 70s, 80s, and even in the 90s, that's where he was the best. He
Mm-hmm.
was like straight up like country, like in my mind, when I think of country music, it's George Jones.
Yeah.
Like I don't even like really care much about his early stuff. I like his later stuff, like 70s, 80s, and 90s, which is big for me because I've never been a fan of country music in the 70s or 80s. Like I'm like, I always think it's the cheesiest shit in the world.
Yeah, you've
Until
never really been that.
yeah, until I found George Jones's stuff. I mean, I've always liked George Jones. I've listened, I've heard it my entire life, but now I'm like totally like digging into it.
Didn't
And
he do a
that's his
lot of ballads then?
he did, but man,
Not the
his
stuff you're into though.
yeah, I like the ballads and stuff like that, but you when you hear his like upbeat shit, he kills it every single time. Every single one of his like upbeat songs are like they don't country music does not get better than that. Like not at all. So it's like, you know, like there's some cheesy like piano weird shit that I don't really care for, but it's still
Mhm.
George Jones and he still is just he makes it good just by being him.
Yeah, he's got such a great voice and yeah,
Hmm.
fucking great lyrics too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love George Jones, man.
Yeah, he's
Um,
really the best.
fuck yeah, man. I'm trying to think. You listen to anything else lately?
Let's see. No, I'm pretty much only listening to George Jones right now. I'm obsessed. Yeah,
That's funny. I
seriously.
kind of do
I'm
that
like,
too,
oh,
I kind of do that too, but I split it between like three different bands, and usually they're on a fucking way different plane. Of it's not like the same.
yeah. No, I'm gonna take you to the kitchen with me here. I gotta get some another drink, but yeah, I've only been listening to George Jones at the moment.
Hmm.
I like I said before, like I get on these like just kicks where that's all I want to hear is just one artist over and over and over and over again, you know,
Yeah.
until I'm completely I don't know, like until I absorb it, I guess. So.
Yeah, that's cool. It's funny. I've got a lot of these questions, and like this interview kind of organically took us that way.
Hmm.
Like I got like, what are you listening to on here? Like I was trying to be like, like, and then I was gonna talk about like your songwriting process too, which is cool. So it kind
Well,
of,
we kind of, yeah, that's cool
what were
though.
you listening to when you wrote Down in the Barnyard, or what was that? Is that the right title track?
Out in the barnyard, that was, I tell you, that was, I was really into the Carter family at that point. Big time. I was obsessed
Really?
with the Carter family. Like, I was listening to them, same thing. Like I bought like their box set, and I was just like, oh my God, listen, I can't listen to anything else. I'm just so like interested in every song that they do.
Mhm.
And then before that, I had a yellow CD that like it was like my self-titled, the first thing I ever made. And that was my first real attempt at really anything. And at that point I was listening to like Hank Williams and stuff like that. And
That makes
um,
sense.
hmm and so just, yeah, it's weird how that works, but I just really get like into something, and I have like a super hyper focused mind about it, that it's like that's all I want to hear for who knows how long. I mean, I think I listened to Fats Domino for like 3 years straight.
Well, I remember when we were talking about when you were recording Down in the Barnyard, and there was a lot of hype behind that album too, actually.
Yeah.
Because people, and that was like right when the height of like the Farmageddon shit was going on. Muddy Roots had just picked up, and people were really waiting for that album. And we were
Yeah.
talking about, songwriting and shit, because, we were both kind of talking about how we always felt like honesty was like the best policy in songwriting, but we were both kind of talking about how we were having problems with being honest in our like music, because we're like in a weird place. And that you told me that was when you decided to just completely go pretty much the storytelling, like, and you're talking
Mhm.
about
Oh
how,
yeah.
because you did a lot of like like some of that stuff to me, actually doesn't quite remind me of the Carter family. It reminds me a lot of like obscure, like, I don't know, like Eddie Nowak. I'm trying to think. There's just like a real niche songwriting bunch from like that era that was kind of country, but kind of fucking really dark, you know.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what it reminds me of more than the Carter family. So I was kind of surprised you said the Carter family was what you were listening to, because I thought you were gonna say, I can't even think of anybody that to compare it to. Like Eddie Nowak's one that's got that weird mama song that
Yeah.
kind of.
Well, I was listening to a lot of the Carter family. I think that's what I was listening to. Now you're making me question myself. Pretty sure I was, because
Yeah, you
I
probably.
must have. I covered a Carter family song on that record. So
When
that's
I
usually,
sang on that, I'm pretty sure.
you sang on the last song I did, but that
Oh,
was
that
the
was the
one I
Carter
wrote.
family song.
Nope, the Carter family song was Lonesome for You.
Oh, okay.
They did that one. Like usually when I record an album, it's almost like I always put a cover song, and usually the cover song is what I was inspired by. So like I did a Carter family song on Down in the Barnyard. I did a Fats Domino song on A Killer's Dream, and I did do a cover for The Loneliness of Me, but I just didn't put it on the record. And that cover was Jerry Lee Lewis, He Still Comes Around. It's
Oh,
this
really?
really good. Yeah, he was actually a pretty big influence. And you can't really hear it much, but like his country music, his like Jerry Lee Lewis's country music is some of the best country music there is. Like it's so good. And I was listening to a lot of that stuff, and I was like, I'm gonna put that song on this record, but I recorded it, but I didn't put it on because I just felt like it kind of took away from the whole like presentation of the record. So I have it, maybe it'll go out on some other type of release or something, you know. But
Cool.
hmm
Right on. Yeah. But you know, now that I'm thinking about it, a lot of those older bluegrass songs can get fucking dark too, man.
yeah, yeah, totally.
Yeah, they get like oh man, I'm trying to think of a lot of murder ballads in bluegrass if you really think about it, you know. So maybe that's where
Oh,
you.
I love all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I
I think
love
my
all.
favorite song off of that album was I think it's Morrow Road is what it's called.
Yeah.
And that's what kicked me into that is because I remember that song reminds me of the ballad that the mom sings on Raising Arizona to the baby.
Oh,
Do you know which one I'm talking about?
I haven't seen that. Yeah, I haven't seen that movie in so long.
Which ironically enough is an old bluegrass murder ballad.
Which one is it? Do you know what
I
song
can't
it is?
remember what it's called. If I think about it, I'll look it up and send you the link to it. But it's really pretty. It doesn't. I don't know if. But that's. I've always loved that scene of that movie where she's singing to that child since I was a little kid. I've always
Right.
fucking loved that song. So when I heard it and it reminded me of that, I got like chills up my spine. So,
Well,
so I've always loved it. And it doesn't sound like exactly like it. You know, it just has like really the same feel. I think. You know.
well, yeah. I mean, that song "Morrow Road" was, yeah. I mean, it was inspired by those old murder ballads.
Well, you told me
Um,
it was also inspired by a true story. Didn't is what you
it
told me?
is. There's a road in Michigan called Morrow Road, and there's like a they say that there's like this woman that like walks the road at night, you know. And I just came up with like a story to go with it.
Yeah,
So
you
I
real
don't really
story.
know if that's real, but I thought like, you know, I'll write up my own story to it. And that's really true. Like what you said earlier for like Down in the Barnyard, all those songs were, yeah, like stories. It's like I was really like trying to write stories, and they all are story songs. And just a little chapter, I guess, like that, you
Yeah,
know.
that was a really cool album, man. Like I said, there's a lot of people who were excited for that too, and you didn't let them down. I don't think personally. Didn't you record most of that in your like that house in there too?
Yeah, you were there. You saw it. You saw that little studio
I
setup I
stayed
had.
there. You yelled at me for not making the bed. You and James make the bed, dog fight.
Well, yeah. I
I
mean
know.
that.
I was a dick. Part of me was like, I was like, I wonder if she's gonna wash these blankets or not. I don't know if I should make this or not, but I was like, fuck, she probably
Oh,
should.
yeah.
Been on the road for.
I probably did, but you know, I'm OCD about like shit. I don't know
Yeah.
if you know this about me, but not many people do. But I have like OCD tendencies, so it's like, um, if I know that a bed is messy, it like fucks with me until it's not.
Really? Yeah, you probably remade it anyways, because I'm not good, and I'm not good at making beds at all. So like,
I
okay.
probably, yeah.
Yeah, but
So,
you and Honeycutt is what you said. That house was cool, man. That was such a cool house. We have
yeah,
like,
man, that was a cool place to live. Like, that was a friend of ours' house. It was such a nice house. It was like it was way nicer than what Brooks and I
but
deserved to live in, probably.
didn't you
But
have trash when you moved in, wasn't it?
yeah, we helped. The reason why we got to live there is because we did a lot of work to it. Like we kind of helped her fix it up a little bit. Not that we are like construction people. It wasn't like it didn't need any like major construction. It just needed like a little bit of like help. And we kind of like cleaned it up, painted it up, made it look real nice. And she, you know, in exchange, she let us live there for a little while, and it was cool. It was a great situation, you know.
Cool.
I really, really liked it.
Yeah, I think I met
I
that
was close
lady
enough.
once.
Yeah. Oh
She's
yeah, she's
interesting.
still a yeah,
Huh?
she's still a real good friend of ours. She's a good friend of ours
Yeah.
still. Yeah.
Sorry you
Just
keep cutting out. Yeah, she was sweet. She's a sweet lady.
mhm.
But hey, so that song off of I looked it up real quick. Off of Raising Arizona is an old Charlie Monroe song called "Down in the Willow Garden."
Aha! I wondered if that was it.
Did you wonder?
I did because that song was like, I was listening to that song a lot actually. You cracked the code.
It's kind of got the same vibe to it, or like a
It is.
same down to the nitty gritty. You know, I
Yeah.
think it's kind of a murder ballad too, if I'm not mistaken.
It is. Yeah, it is. Yep. No, that's cool that you looked that up, man. That song, I love that song. I
Yeah,
actually like the Everly Brothers version of that so much. It's like my favorite, one of my all-time favorites. The Everly Brothers, they did this record called Songs Our Daddy Taught Us. And that record is probably in my all-time top 5 records that I love. And that song is on there. And yeah, that song definitely influenced Down in the Barnyard. The whole song did influence like the whole record, I should say.
really, right on. Cool, man. Yeah,
Mhm.
that was a good one. Yeah, but that song, man, is always it's one of the earliest songs I can remember hearing. I think for some reason, like I had this, my memory kicks in probably about 3 or 4, which is weird, and it's scary because they say that if you can remember way back, your chances of getting dementia when you're old are like really high. And my
Mm.
grandpa's got dementia, so I get a little freaked out thinking about it sometimes because I can like feel my short-term memory like going, but my old memory is like still sharp as a tag. But I can remember fucking hearing that song. It was one of the earliest songs I remember hearing, and it was just her singing that a cappella, you know. And I was,
Yeah.
but also in that movie they use that tune through like all these weird scenes. They don't have her singing it, but they have it like probably violin or something,
Yeah.
or maybe guitar. But it's really eerie. They always use it like when Nick Cage is doing the narrating for like all the weird sad parts, you know.
Yeah, I gotta watch that movie again.
Last time I watched it, I hadn't smoked pot in like fucking probably I like long time. And I got really sick and I was selling pot. And this was a long time ago. I mean, it's legal here now and it's legal there too. So fuck it.
Yeah.
Anyways, but I was selling pot and I got really sick and we were fucking poor and I had like nothing to make me feel better. And I didn't want to smoke pot because like I was like sick in the throat and stuff. So I didn't want to smoke it. So I ate some and I ate a lot. Like I just threw a bunch in my mouth and ate it.
Oh,
So when I fucking it hit me like a fucking ton of bricks and that fucking
oh,
that movie was on and I was like laying in bed and I thought like and Claire came to bed and I thought like all I could hear was like the fucking yodel and I thought it was just playing over and over and over again. So I like tell Claire, I'm like, dude, will you shut that fucking movie off already? Because I thought it was like at the end and it was just replaying it. And she was like, it's been off for like fucking
my
45
God.
minutes.
Yeah. That's
But yeah, so that's my last memory with it. But yeah, it's a fuck. I love that movie. It's so good.
yeah, I love the Coen brothers. They did that one. They did
Big
um
Lebowski, right?
yeah, Oh Brother Where Art Thou is like
It's
one of
a
my
good one.
all-time favorites. I mean, who doesn't love that one?
That's so good.
Yeah, such a good movie.
Yeah. Yep. So who'd you record this album with?
Well, I recorded it with my brother up in Traverse City, Michigan.
Does he got a
He
studio up there? You do most of your stuff with him, don't you?
I do because, for one, we understand each other pretty well. He's like we can kind of get on the same wavelength of, how we want something to sound and stuff like that. It's like I've just worked, you know how it is when you work with somebody for so long, you just know
Yeah, you
what.
guys were like, didn't you guys play together since you were little kids, didn't you? So
Yeah, and he
that
yeah
kind
he
of
also
was
plays
there.
drums and stuff. Yeah, it's like it's just nothing better than like working with a family member, you know what I mean? So, and there's also some really bad things that happen when you work with a family member. But still, it's like at least that it's like no matter how pissed off you get at each other, it's like it's gonna eventually gonna end and you're gonna have to move on. There's
Mhm.
always like that thought, you know what I mean? So it works out pretty well. But we recorded that in Traverse City at his studio. My record was the last record recorded on his old system. Since then, he's like got a whole new like recording studio. Like he's like got a bunch of like really good shit. So my album was the last album recorded on the shitty shit.
It still sounds good.
Yeah, it sounds good. I just mean like now it's like what the next record will probably be really like sound really great, you know. And then I had it mastered at Third Man Mastering in Detroit.
Oh yeah,
And
it's good.
yeah, and that guy, he did a great job. I mean, like his name was Bill Skibby. You should look him up. Like some of the things that he's like a pro, man. Like,
Probably if he works with
um,
Third Man.
yeah,
So do
he
you have?
like I
Can anybody just go to Third Man, or did they offer to? Are they watching you?
no, anybody can like. So he does like all the work for like their releases. But if you want to, you can use him as your own mastering guy.
Okay.
So he yeah, so like I had it mastered there, and then I also had it pressed at Third Man. I had it pressed at Third Man because it was easy for me to go and pick up. I didn't have to pay like $500 or more in shipping, you know what I mean? I
Hmm.
could just go get it. And so I thought, well, I'll just go through Third Man for everything because they did such a great job, you know, like literally like working with them was like the easiest thing ever.
Cool.
On the mastering and the pressing is just it was just really good. They did such a good job and
Nice.
totally recommend them to anybody.
Cool. Well, yeah, man, I'm a huge Jack White fan too. So maybe, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, yeah, he
I
did
know he's
his
got
he
like probably absolutely nothing to do with that except he owns the company, but I am a
yeah, yeah,
huge
like
Jack.
I didn't yeah, I mean like I didn't like you know,
You know, like
I
signing a deal anytime soon.
yeah, I went to
Maybe they'll just drop a Rachel Brooke disc on the desk. You'd fit in really good with their crowd.
well, you
That's
never
what I'm
know.
gonna call him. Pull some strings for you.
Go ahead. Yeah. I wouldn't say no. I'll say that. I wouldn't say no. I mean,
I would,
you know me, I'm straight up independent for the most part,
yeah,
but you know, there are a few exceptions to that rule.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
I think Jack White having the respect for music that he does, and I've never really heard anybody say anything bad about him. You know, it's not like I've never heard anybody feel like they got screwed over that was on their label. You know.
well, I don't really know much about Jack White, but what I do know is that like um his companies, like the Third Man stuff, from my own perspective, like are just fucking like they're the best. Like I've the music they put out is really good. They care so much about their products.
Hmm.
Not only the shit that they put out on their own label, but like the shit that they work for other artists and other labels. Like they press like records for independent artists and other labels and shit like that, and they care so much. So to me, I'm like, I want to work with somebody who cares because you know, at least you know that like it's gonna turn out good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
And so
yeah.
that's what I like about their company is you can just tell they give a shit.
Hmm.
You know, not that other companies don't, but like they've done a really good job, I think, of like presenting and they come through on it too. So
Mm. Yeah, I've looked a little bit into it, you know, because like I said, I'm a fan. Honestly, probably one of the best shows I ever fucking watched was the White Stripes. I caught them right before they ended up breaking up, and honestly, I don't think anything's been the same for me since the White Stripes broke up with Jack White. A lot of other shit's
yeah,
probably a little more brilliant to other people because he got like the resources to bring in whatever the fuck he wanted, you know. But there's something about just him using what he could with Meg, who was actually Meg was not a good drummer. I mean, she suited what he was doing well, but she wasn't like flashy or fancy. She could keep a beat, you know, but that
yeah,
kind of made it genius in that sense, you know.
it is.
You don't have to
She's a
be.
pro, man. She like I think she's like undervalued in some ways because she might not have been like a fancy drummer, but she was like perfect at what she did.
Yeah,
And
that's exactly it.
that's
Yeah, I'm not
yeah.
devaluing her at all because God, it was
Oh
such
yeah.
it blew my
Yeah. I know.
fucking mind. And everybody was saying, "Oh, he does like these tracks, like so it's just like he has all these tracks like where they just play music behind him and shit." No, like he had loops going and was playing fucking 5 different things. He probably said like maybe 3 sentences outside of what he was singing the whole time. It was like a 3-hour blistering set of just him running back and forth to instruments. I was like, Jesus Christ. Yeah, and she came
Mhm.
out. She had this big in the show itself. I've never been big on the show. I'm more of a music guy. Like I'm not a fucking Kiss fan. Like, but that show I could appreciate. It was just everything flowed together perfectly. Like, uh, I don't, and sadly, I don't think I would have been a fan that I am without seeing it live. Because when we went, I was like, I hadn't been to a concert in like a year, and my buddy was like, I got these tickets for like $30 for my sister. Do you want to go? And I was like, oh, fuck it. They're all right, And I went,
Yeah.
and I was like, holy shit. Like, this is amazing. Now, I remember when we walked away from the show, I looked at my buddy and I said, someday we'll tell our kids we got to see the fucking White Stripes. And
Yeah.
sure as shit, my fucking daughter loves the White Stripes now, and I get to be like, I saw the fucking White Stripes.
You're the cool dad.
Not
Yeah.
really. That's like the one thing I like that we like together. She fucking is like into My Chemical Romance. I think I was telling you this the other day. She's like into this shit. Well, so she's into kind of cool music for a 12-year-old, you know? I think by the time she's like 16, she's going to be listening to some pretty cool shit. Like she's already evolving quickly. She's like listening to the Misfits and shit and stuff like that, from evolving from like Fall Out Boy to that. She's like progressing fairly quickly. So we'll see where she
Yeah.
goes. She shaved her head this summer and
Oh my God. How old is she?
12.
12.
First
Okay.
year
Yep.
junior high. So,
Yep. I remember those days.
me too.
Yeah. Well, when I was 12, I was obsessed with the Beach Boys.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was like my big, like, that was like what, like seventh grade, eighth
Uh-huh.
grade, or
Yeah, yeah,
something
yeah.
like that. And oh yeah, I was obsessed with the Beach Boys. And well, of course I still love them, but that was like the beginning of that for me. But then after that I got into like Nirvana. I was really into Nirvana and like Green Day,
Yeah.
like that
Oh,
was
she likes
like
Green Day too.
yeah, that was like, and it was just like eventually I got into better stuff. But when you're like 13 and 14, that's the kind of shit you love, you know what I mean?
I actually was really into, so my 7th grade year is weird for me. I listened to a lot of pop music at the beginning of the year. Like if you look at my 7th grade yearbook, it says my favorite band was Sugar Ray. But I remember like uh I got into Hendrix really heavy my 7th grade year for some reason, and Tupac. I was listening to a lot of black music until I was in high school. Like I went through a lot of hip hop shit. Like I love Tupac. I still love Tupac, but I went through listened to a lot of hip hop. Started listening to a lot of Eminem and stuff like that. It wasn't until like something clicked when I was about 16 where I really started like getting into rock, and like all my friends, because we're all learning music too, which I was the worst out of all of us, but I've done more than anybody, which is kind of funny because I was the one nobody ever wanted to let fucking play when we were in the practice space. But I'm the one that's actually been on fucking tour now. But anyways, they all listen to like fucking Corn and Limp Bizkit and shit like that. But I was always like, when I remember hearing Alice in Chains and having that just change my
Yeah.
whole music perspective. The first time I heard Jar of Flies, my fucking threw an audible into my whole music, and that's what set me in my course through grunge, which kind of finished through high school. And then I listened to a lot of Modest Mouse for a minute. And we started listening to country because Johnny Cash came out with Hurt. I think a lot of people from our generation can really thank Johnny Cash for getting us into country. Um, Whether people want to admit it or not, I really think that when he covered that Nine Inch Nails song, it got a lot of the younger crowd into country.
I mean, like, I think you're right about that because a lot of people like, um, a lot of people like okay, so for me, like I grew up with country music and stuff like that, but like when
Well,
that
you were
came
like playing
out,
bluegrass when you were like 6 or some shit. So like you're
yeah,
an exception to this rule. But there's a lot of fucking people in our scene that like to fucking lie about shit, you know?
I
So
know, but that's good though. Like I'm glad that that's how they
uh,
discover Johnny Cash because it's like to me that's a good thing. It's like
yeah, for
fuck yeah,
sure.
any way that you can find out about Johnny Cash, then like that's good, you know. So I think yeah, no, I think it's great.
Well, and
I think
essentially that led to me learning about Hank 3, and that's how I met you essentially. So, you know, it's
Cash is
all
king,
comes
man.
full circle, you know?
Right.
Because I don't
Cash,
think I would have got into Johnny Cash. That was like my grandma's music until he covered Nine Inch Nails. And I didn't even
right?
fucking like Nine Inch Nails. He just did so good on that fucking song that I remember watching it. And I'm like the video too that went with it. Those were
Oh,
hand in hand. It was like, oh my God, you knew like he was predicting his death. It was like hard to
I
watch, but you
know.
couldn't look away, you know?
It was hard to watch. I remember that too. I remember the first time I watched it. Yeah, same. I felt like it was just like I was like I can't watch. Like it just felt too like too much. I couldn't
Yeah. Can
handle
you
it.
imagine like what like our grandparents or parents felt like seeing that though? Because like Johnny, that was like they remember seeing Johnny Cash as like a handsome young man that was like a lady killer and wild, you know, and now he's this broken, fucking shaken, you know, like yeah,
Hmm. I know. I know. That's crazy. I do remember what my stepdad he what when that came out, he said that exact same thing. He's like, he doesn't look like, he's old, but he's like basically the around the same age as my stepdad is. You know what I mean? It's
yeah,
like in the 70s or whatever, you know what I mean? He's a little older, but still it was just
yeah.
like I
He's
was like,
not as old as you would think he is. Was you know
right.
he was just really broken because of all the shit he did, you know.
Hmm.
But
Yep.
well, shit, man. So couple quick more questions. I'll let you go. I know it's getting late over there. You got to get up early, I'm sure.
I gotta get up early and yeah, I do. I hate getting up early.
What time does a kid get up?
Well, I gotta take him to. He's in school right now.
Oh, really?
Is Yeah, as weird as everything is, happening right now in Michigan. The school is still open, so I have to take him to school like early, like 8, and I have to drop him off at like 8:30 in the morning. It's like, what the fuck?
How old is he
This is
now?
not. It's 5.
5. So he still probably doesn't quite get himself completely ready.
Yeah, I have. No, he doesn't. So I gotta get up and stuff, and then yeah, I don't like getting up.
Yeah, you know, I'm actually more. I think it's fucked my songwriting up too because I'm more of a morning person now. I used to like not get up before noon. Like it was a waste for me to get up.
Yeah,
I hated the morning. I'm like, fuck, there's nothing good happening in the morning. Like I did all
yeah.
my best writing at fucking like 2 in the morning. You know, like there's
Mhm.
nothing offered to me in the morning, so I just slept through it. So, but now I'm like, it's like 6 o'clock in the morning on my day off, and I'm like, all right, you know, it's fucking weird getting old. I never thought I would be that person ever. Never
Yeah,
thought I'd be that person.
I'm still not that person. I slept until noon today.
Did you? Good.
Yeah, I did.
I think though, if I didn't have to get up to go to work though, I probably would fucking quit doing it like that. You know,
Well, I just like being up late,
I did too.
and if Brooks is here, he'll like if Brooks is here, he gets up with Casper in the morning. So, but he's not here, so I get up and it kind of screws it up, but yeah,
He goes to school with the shoes on the wrong feet.
yeah, yeah, but we make it work, whatever.
Yeah.
Fridays, who gives a shit? You know what I mean?
So this show will probably be like our like kind of our Thanksgiving show because it'll come out a few days before
Okay.
that. So we're doing our top 5 is going to be our least favorite because we do like a top 5 every week of our whatever. top 5 least favorite, whatever. But it's going to be our least favorite Thanksgiving dishes. Do you want to get what is one of your least favorite Thanksgiving dish?
God, my mom, she fucking makes this shit. Everybody I guess likes it in my family, but I hate it. It's broccoli casserole.
Oh shit.
And it's like I don't like it. It's like the broccoli is all smushed up and there's rice in it and cheese. And I guess a lot of people like it, but I can't stand that shit.
Yeah.
That's the worst. The
Is there
broccoli
chicken in it?
No chicken.
No, because
It's
I
like
make a
rice.
similar thing with chicken, but it's not my Thanksgiving dish though, so that's a little odd.
Yeah, well, this year, like my mom, she goes way overboard, and she makes like way too much food. Like I don't know why she likes to do it. I mean, she's probably gonna listen to this. I'm gonna tell you right now, my mom listens to every interview I do.
That's sweet.
So,
Hi, mom.
so yeah, exactly. Hi, mom. Yeah. So she makes tons of food, and she's like the best cook, But like, it's like I don't understand why she makes this broccoli casserole every year. It's like
Yeah.
make something good.
Well, I guess everybody loves it though. But yeah, so I'll give a spoiler. This is one on my top 5, and this will probably come before the top 5. But to go with that, my grandma every year for Thanksgiving when I was a kid, like I like stuffing, but my grandma made this stuffing a certain way forever. None of us liked it except my fucking grandpa. She put chicken gizzards in it, which I guess is like, or maybe it was turkey gizzards, the gizzards out of the fucking turkey. But yeah, she put that in there, and it's the fucking chewiest, fucking like weird tasting fucking shit you'll ever fucking eat in your life. And for some reason, like that's one of my least favorite dishes. My grandma's stuffing. I like stuffing, but I'm like, give me the fucking stovetop. I'm making it because like I've had that shit shoved down my throat. I thought I hated stuffing my whole life because I had this weird stuffing.
Oh, my mom makes really good stuffing though. It's really good. Everything she does is really, really good.
Just
I
that
mean,
one. What? Can't win them all, Can't win them all. And you guys, it sounds like you guys are a pretty traditional family too. So a lot of this shit she makes is probably from scratch.
it is like
Yeah.
yeah, everything is from scratch. My mom's the best cook ever. Like that's like I go to her house every holiday because I'm not getting up early to make turkey.
Yeah.
Fuck that. I don't do that. I'm not really like I like to cook, but for the most part I don't. Like I go to my mom's house a lot for dinner and stuff, and Brooks mostly does.
Brooks is a good cook, isn't he?
Is a good cook. It's
He
like why
made
should
fucking pot roast last time I stayed at your house, and it was bomb.
yeah, he's the cook. I
Yeah.
mean, like I think that like I'm a good cook, but it's like why should I cook when I have someone to cook for me?
And better, probably, because he's good.
Yeah, no, he is good.
Yeah.
So, I don't know where I was going with this story, but I can't remember. My mom's a good cook, I guess.
They keep running you over. Yeah, I don't know. It sounded like it was kind of over. All right. Favorite Christmas movie? Because I probably won't talk to you for a while.
Yeah, Christmas movie. Let's see. Probably okay. So probably Christmas Vacation.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
that
funny.
one.
You said that friend you guys always called Cousin Eddie.
Like he is. He's like, he looks just like him. Do you ever see those pictures?
Huh?
Yeah, I mean, it's like we one Halloween
I met the
we
dude in
did.
person. He totally looks like Randy Quaid.
He does. So like I was Ellen, Brooks was Clark, and Chris, his name was Chris. He was Cousin Eddie, and we dressed up like that for Halloween. And it was so perfect because he looks just like him, and he had like the suit on, and like from that movie, from the Christmas Vacation movies. But yeah, that's probably my favorite Christmas movie. It's just one that I remember watching a lot as a kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I was never a fan of that one so much. It's pretty good, but it's not my favorite. I mean, I've always been a Christmas Story guy. I mean, I feel like that's cliche nowadays because it's so popular, but I was always my favorite as a kid. To the point where my mom actually got me a Red Ryder BB gun for Christmas one year. But
That is
and
a
I was
good
kind of pissed
movie.
because it wasn't what I wanted. She bought it to be funny because she, knew I loved that movie, and I was like, not fucking amused. I can't remember what I wanted for Christmas. I was like, a fucking gun? I don't want a fucking gun. But I ended up having a lot of fun with it, though. I actually had it forever.
Well,
But
yeah, I mean, you can't not have fun with a BB gun.
yeah, no, I
I
mean,
mean,
we fucked with it forever. We did so much stupid shit. Like I convinced my friend to go on my roof, and then I took the ladder down, and me and his brother took turns shooting it with it.
yeah, that's what you do with a BB gun.
So,
Oh my god.
newer. Do you got like a favorite newer Christmas movie? Like, because
Let's see.
with the kid now, you got to be watching some of the newer stuff.
Well, I like Charlie Brown Christmas. Like I like that thing, like the cartoon. I actually okay, so I have to admit, I really have this thing about a Christmas Carol. Okay, so there's what I'm talking about, like Scrooge,
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
like that story is like my favorite Christmas story ever. And so like there's so many versions of that story though. There's like the Disney um version, and it's just so many of Scrooged,
hmm
like that movie. That is like my favorite Christmas story is like the Scrooge one. So like anything that has to do with that. And
yeah.
I guess there is like a new one that's out. It's like through Disney, but it's like Jim Carrey plays like a lot of the parts. And I kind of like watching that.
Yeah. I like Elf with Will Ferrell's. I think is my favorite.
Oh yeah, that's good too.
It's the only
Yeah,
one that really like is newer. That's like really hit like as an instant classic for me. Like it's a staple in our house, and
yeah,
like I never thought I'd be able to find a new Christmas movie that I really loved, but
yeah,
Elf is kind of a staple in our house now for Christmas time. It doesn't really feel like Christmas if Elf isn't on the TV at least a couple times.
yeah, yeah. No, I know that is a good one. I should probably watch that again because like I've watched it a few times and I liked it, but Christmas, I will admit, like Christmas kind of annoys me in some ways.
Oh, you don't have to tell me.
Yeah, dude, it's
I
like
fucking
it's
hate it. You know,
yeah, it's like
everything's lost. Everything's lost. Black Friday's fucking ruined it. It's fucking gone.
I know. I try really hard to be like a good like Christmassy person for Casper, but it's like I don't really like it.
Well,
It's like I don't fucking spend a bunch of money on stupid ass shit for
and that's exactly it. It's like it's this shit gets stupider that you buy, and the kids get less appreciative. Like even my kid knows it's bullshit now. She's just like she doesn't
yeah,
even seem excited for it. It's like she's just like
yeah,
yeah, whatever. I mean, and we're not. She's been like that since I think the last Christmas she got really excited for is probably like fuck. I don't know. She's probably 8. It's like it
yeah.
dies. They catch on to shit quick too nowadays. Like there's no fucking with her with Santa for very long. It was like after kindergarten she started asking
Oh,
questions, and then she was just like, "Yeah, I'm fucking know it's you."
yeah. I hope that Casper doesn't have some kid in his class like try to spoil it for him.
No, he probably will, man. Even I didn't. I mean, there's always that little shithead that fucking. It's got to be a little dick. It was my best friend was the one that fucking fucked it up for everybody in our class. He was the one that had all the older brothers that taught us how to smoke and showed us Playboys. He was actually on probation in kindergarten because him and his brother set the back of a laundromat on fire smoking cigarettes.
What happened to that guy?
Oh fuck, you don't even want to know. Like fucking racist, fucking dipshit,
Oh,
alcoholic fuck. Yeah, it sucks because he's kind of my oldest friend. Like I got like a special spot in my heart, but like just like a couple years ago, I had to just be like, I can't talk to you anymore, dude. Like I've tried to be your friend, but anyways, yeah, he was fucking fifth, like in kindergarten, him and his brother were on probation. That was funny, but their probation was like kind of cute. Like they had to be in their yard after like 5 in the afternoon. They couldn't be out, like, or they had to be in somebody's yard. So I remember like they'd be hauling ass as fast as they could at like 4:59 to get back to their yard or to get to my yard. But
That's crazy.
yeah. Yeah, that was my childhood. That's why I couldn't get a job in my hometown. That's why I could never get a job in my hometown until I was like fucking 24. But
Oh
shit,
man.
you want to tell people where you can get your album and all that good stuff, all your merch? I see you got some country trash ads. And are those still on pre-sale? You got those?
They're not really. I mean, like I did do a pre-sale with them, but they're now I think just up there. But yeah, I got some hats. People like hats. I should have sent you one.
Yeah, I should have bought.
I have. Well, it's not too late.
Today's payday.
Well, you can go to my website is www.rachelbrookemusic.com. And then, of course, I'm on Facebook and all that kind of crap. So people can pretty much find me everywhere. But yeah, my website is where you can buy my physical CDs and records. And I'm getting low on my gold splatter one. I had 250 made and I'm getting low. I mean, I still got it, some. I got maybe like around 50 left. So those went kind of quick. I mean,
splurged the extra $5 and got that bad boy myself. Yeah, I wish you would have had a package deal for the hat though. I was looking for the hat package deal, and then I thought it was on pre-sale, so I didn't buy it. I would have bought it, but
yeah. Well, I should look on that website. I'm so bad. I need to get on there and just make sure everything's right again. Like it's set up good.
I can barely read most days. By the time I start buying shit online, it's like I've been out of a 12-hour shift and smoked a bunch of pot. So I'm like, dude, I don't understand this.
Did the record come yet? Did you get it?
Not yet, but it hasn't been that long though. I think I ordered it. Sunday or Monday, so I think it went out Monday. So it might be here Saturday. The mail's a fucking shit show right now. I've been mailing a bunch of stuff for my label out, and it's just a fucking train wreck. And I run Bob's merch store now, online merch store, so I'm still his merch guy. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's fucking loads of fun. Let me fucking tell you.
So
I love that guy, but he's a train wreck. And he knows. I tell him.
Yeah, I was just thinking about him the other day. I was just thinking about him. Like, what the fuck is he up to these days?
He just recorded a song with Shooter Jennings.
Oh.
He's been hanging out with him a bit. He put out this album, and then he pulled it, which was a train wreck as his merch guy. So he put it up for pre-order. And then when COVID hit, he decided not to release it to the masses. He's going to wait till it was over so he could tour on it. So he pulled it. So then we're fucking running around trying to figure out how to fill all these, or because he didn't want to refund everybody because he probably spent the fucking money. So then we have to figure out how we're going to make these people that bought this album happy. So it was a train wreck. But the long story even longer, the album is really, really, really good. I think you would actually really like it because he channels like his good songwriting aspects, and I'm not talking shit about him. Bob's like one of my good friends, but he knows how I feel about his quirky ass fucking songs. I always get on his ass about, I'm like, dude, you are a great songwriter, and everybody people think you're dumb shit because you write these songs. I was like, but he's like, that's what sells. That's what his crowd likes. So he writes them, But I've always loved his really songwriting shit. And he decided finally to do a whole fucking album of just those really dark songwriter songs. So it's really, really good. I think you'd really like it when it comes out. It's called Rogue.
Well, when you see him or talk to him next, tell him that I said hi. And
I will.
He's doing good. And I'm,
He's still the same old Bob, man. That's the one thing. He's the one person that's not changed at all. He's just fucking still doing a different diet every week where he's like almost shitting his pants like all the time, and then he's like just chasing ladies and living in a fucking school bus and well, he's
Is he
got right now he's got a little house in Alabama. Like he saved it up a bunch of money. He bought this condemned house in Alabama for like 30 grand. It's got like 2 acres on it. So he got a pretty good deal on it, but everything was a shithole. So during COVID, he's been spending the time fixing it up little by little, and he's actually doing a pretty good job because he knows what he's doing. He's a good he was like a member of like the laborers union, so like he knows how to fix shit pretty well. He's pretty crafty, so he just spent his time fixing his house up.
I swear to God, the last time I saw Bob Wayne, I was in Belgium for the fucking Muddy Roots Europe, and I'm pretty sure that was the last time I saw him. And there was like this blowout between like him and Joe Buck.
I knew you were gonna fucking say that because this is notorious. That's fucking hilarious. They were set to play Moonrunners together this year, and I gave Joshy a heads up. I'm like, you realize they hate each other, right? Last time they were in the same vicinity as each other, they fucking were trying to fist fight each other.
Oh man,
that had been brewing for years too.
I don't even know what happened, and like all I know is that they don't get along. But
yeah, it was Hank 3-day shit. I know what happened. It was just a bunch of bullshit where they started mean about each other, and it, then eventually they met face to face. A couple old guys fighting each other. I wish I could have been there because I would have died laughing.
It was pretty crazy.
Yeah, I heard it was pretty nuts, actually. Yeah.
But you know what? It's a good memory now, and I cherish it.
Yeah, no, Honeycutt. I remember Honeycutt telling us, I was really disappointed in both of them. I'm like, I think it's funny. That's cool. I didn't know you went over to Belgium, though. That's rad.
Yeah, we did a tour over there. I went over there with Joe Buck and Viva La Vox.
So you were on tour with him at the time, too?
I was on tour. And
so did you just have to hear him just be fired up about it the whole fucking time you're there then? Yeah,
it was, well, mostly it was just kind of like at that moment, you know what I mean? At like Muddy Roots Europe or whatever. But, that's what, I mean, it's cool though, like I don't really know if like they ever like patched it up. I don't really know, but.
Oh, no, I don't think so.
Oh, okay. But, it's fun while it lasted.
It's the music business, man. We don't get into this to be fucking calm and, we get this for the fucking excitement, Fuck, dude.
Exactly.
If I wanted to fucking, I don't know, I'd have been a fucking, like, accountant if I wanted to fucking live a fucking boring life.
Exactly. Like, I love it. I love being on the road. So much weird shit happens out there. It's so much better than going to fucking job today.
Oh yeah, it's so much better than having money. I'm sure. Like when I die, I'll be way more happy that I did what I did instead of having a bunch of money. It'd be nice to have both, but
like literally, like, don't want to sound like an old person, but it's like, I mean, because we're not really that old, but I mean,
we're not.
We're getting old.
Yeah.
I look at this. It's like you get one life. It's like money. You can't take money with you. Who cares about money? Mm-hmm. It's like your life has to be like fun. You know what I mean? Like that's the shit that you take with you all the way to the end. Is like the good times. You know what I mean? And it's like, I there's nothing better than like doing the shit you love. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I tell you what, man. It doesn't get any easier though. Fuck, man. It takes me probably about a week to recover,
Oh, yeah, totally.
Like I don't even want to leave my house.
I went on the road for like a week and a half. I think like my last tour was like last year. And I came home and I was done for like a month. I was like, I'm not talking to anybody, not doing anything for like a month because it's like it takes it out of you for sure. Like, yeah, like you're up super fucking late, drive all day. It's like it's not the same like when you're in your 20s or whatever. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm really hoping that like I'll get some good like, some I'll kind of like rise up to the next level somehow,
Hey,
and with the ass fucking tours
well, the
coming
thing
soon,
is, I was thinking about this actually before we started because like I've always kind of felt like, and this is not just blowing smoke up your ass because you're the person I'm interviewing, but I've always kind of felt like you were one of the few people in our little niche of friends or genre or whatever you want to call it from way back in the day that I thought would break out of that whole mold and go do something bigger. But and then I think it's like kind of cliche that we all start thinking like after 30 that sun is setting, but nowadays like it's not so much the case. Like you look at Cody Jinks, people like that, they're all like in their 40s and they're just now in the best music state of life. Sturgill Simpson. So you know what? I mean, fuck it, man. It ain't over yet. It ain't over till it's fucking over.
I mean, like, God, I would never want to like. I mean, honestly, I would be. I'm kind of glad that maybe now a lot of people have heard my stuff from my 20s.
Yeah.
Like, it's taken me time to develop into like a better songwriter and shit. And so
Oh,
now I'm just now hitting my stride. Like, I feel like right now is like I'm just at the very beginning of who knows what else. So I think like age doesn't matter. I only get better with age. So
yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know about me. I feel like I'm pickier with me. Like you were saying, like I've had a lot of problems writing just because I'm gonna do something better each time, you know.
yeah.
Um, but it's just I kind of forgot where I was going with it. I know we were talking about like fucking age and shit like that, but like, um, but oh yeah, I know what I was gonna say. The shit. Oh my god, that first fucking album I did still fucking haunts me to this day. It was like a 4-song EP. I hate it. I tried to make it disappear. I can't. And then the second one was a little better. It had a lot more of my songwriting shit on it, which is where I always wanted to be. But you know, I was always like, I was really into Hank 3. I wanted attention from that area. So I started writing songs like that, and they were just fucking terrible fucking songs. I should have just been myself. So,
You learn as you get older.
yeah, exactly. And so, like, I don't want people to hear my shit from my 20s. I mean, my last album was probably one of my favorites that I've done, but anything below that, fuck, I don't want people to hear that shit. I wish I could get rid of it. People still like if you Google Dog Bite Harris, it still says the foul mouth country boy. I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ. I've like thought about shaking the name a few times, but it's just I don't think so. It ain't gonna work.
I know, like I there's like some old ass like YouTube videos of me on YouTube, and I can't like I don't even I mean I don't look at them, but I know that they're on there, and it's like I'm like cringe because it's like back then like I used to drink before I'd play. I don't drink before I play anymore. Like it's like something I've learned not to do because I when I drink I get too relaxed and I don't give a shit about really anything.
Mm-hmm.
And God, I hate that those things are out there. I hate that people might find those videos and think of me as that same person, and because I'm totally not. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? It's like when I perform now, it's like, I mean, I try to do the best I possibly can, and you know what I mean?
Uh-huh. Yeah, like definitely wasn't my best. So yeah, like I think like 30s is the new 20s nowadays to me. That's where a lot of people are hitting their stride. So, you're definitely still in that window.
Oh, totally.
But yeah, I've got hope for you, man. Yeah, I've always been one of your biggest fans, I think. So I remember I always tell this story about the first time we met. I remember just being so fucking tired, and we were staying at Brooks's apartment, and um, we were just stuck in that fucking Magic Bag place in Detroit, and they wouldn't open the fucking doors. and everybody was chain smoking in there. It was back when you could still smoke in a venue. Couldn't fucking breathe. My eyes were burning. Like I was just like done.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember that.
And that fucking security were just fucking assholes the whole fucking time. But I just remember just being done. And then we get back. And we'd already had a few situations like this, but I was like, oh, great. The girl grabbed a guitar.
Yeah.
Or, fuck me. Now, great. But then I was like engulfed the second you started playing. I was like, holy shit. I'm glad she did, you know? All I wanted to do was sleep. But then I was like, that's when we really hit it off because I think we stayed up all night fucking talking and shit.
Yeah. No, yeah, we stayed over there. Who else did you guys play with? What was it, Wayne Hancock or something
Yeah,
like
we
that?
played with Wayne Hancock. Whitey Morgan was there, and there was a big tiff. Bob was pissed because they had Whitey. And this is before a lot of people knew Whitey. I mean, he was big shit in Detroit, but nobody knew him. And I kind of feel bad to this day because I fucking held that beef because of Bob forever. And it was just, it's like one of those things that like I shouldn't have even gave a shit. You
Mm-hmm.
know, because his people were really nice to us, and I was just like, "Fuck them!" They took our, they took our main support spot. When I was just like the fucking merch guy, and it was just like so dumb. Just me thinking about how I like tried to be loyal, and like Bob probably doesn't even like remember that, like he's probably like doesn't even remember that he was mad at Whitey Morgan at all or anything. So, but I was the one that was like for years, fuck Whitey Morgan, and now I'm like, he's actually pretty good, you know. But
Yeah.
yeah, Whitey was there. I'm trying to think. I think there was somebody else too, but I don't know if they were like a well-known band because
Well, that was at the Magic Bag, you said? Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Like just like Brooks lived like 2 blocks from that. Remember
yeah,
that? It was
not
just
very
down the
far at
street.
all. Yeah,
Brooks
yeah.
and I used to we used to see tons of bands at the Magic Bag and we just walked there from his apartment. It was literally like 2 blocks.
It was a
It was
really
so
cool
nice.
venue aside from them locking people in there like a fucking fire hazard, and the
Yeah,
security were
exactly.
just dicks. Like that night, they wouldn't let us sell stickers because they didn't want to put on their wall. And
Oh
then
wow.
they gave us like a very small. That was another thing that caused a pissing match. Is they gave us all like one merch table to share, and Whitey took the whole fucking thing up. Like I don't think he had a concept of like touring etiquette. Like if you're the hometown hero, like maybe step aside just a bit to let the touring guys make a little money, because he took the whole fucking table. And that was another thing that fucking pissed Bob off. So like we hung all our shit up on hangers. But anyways, Dan had these stickers that said what would Gigi Allen do on them. And this guy kept being a dick about these stickers. Him and Wayne's ex-wife Gina got into it. But Dan hands me a stack of those fucking Gigi Allen stickers about that fucking thick. You can't. I guess they can't see me because we won't be doing the video on this. But he goes, you know what to do with these. And I just went and started fucking plastering them everywhere. These security guards are like getting on their walkie-talkies. You would think somebody brought a gun into the fucking club, and all somebody was doing was putting stickers up. But anyways, Bob had hung one of them up underneath his shirt because we had the shirt hanging on hangers to display them, and he put his hand behind it and hung one of the shirts up, and we'd loaded everything out, and the security guards are like yelling at us to get out, like just because like, oh, the night's over, get the fuck out, party's over. Well, anyways, like as we're leaving, Bob had left that shirt hanging up. We had everything but that shirt. And he was like, hey, you guys forgot your shirt. And when he pulled the shirt down, the sticker was there. And he like looks at me. And when he turns around to look at me, I had my middle finger up and he's like, cute, real cute. That was how I left the magic bag.
Wow.
That was the worst venue, like one of the worst venues we ever played. But it was cool inside. I wish they're probably still going when COVID's not around, I guess. Left.
I always liked the Magic Bag. I played it a couple times.
Really?
Um, yeah, I always had a good
Good thing.
experience there, but I also kind of don't, I don't really think too hard about what I'm doing. I'm the kind of person who just does whatever the hell I want, and then if it's wrong,
They
it's
also
better not.
threatened to lock Wayne out of the fucking show. They were like, Wayne, like everybody, all the bands got to be loaded in, have all their shit in by like 8 o'clock because we lock the doors after that, and you won't get back in. We're like, what the fuck? Like Wayne's the headliner, you know? Like you're just gonna lock him out?
Wow. Yeah. No, I don't. Man, I do miss that place though. That was a
That
good.
place was fucking packed that night. That was like a fucking show, man. That was one of
Yeah.
the
No,
biggest.
Detroit's
Yeah.
the best city ever. Like people don't know realize it,
Oh, I love
but it's like
Detroit, man. It's one of my favorite places. Everybody says it's such a shithole, and when you roll into it, you're like, holy shit. Like this place is bad. Like it's not like a fucking made up story, but you get in there, dude, it's great, man. I've had a lot of fucking great shows in Detroit.
yeah, Detroit's not only like the best like place I feel like to play music, but it's like the people in Detroit, like the musicians in Detroit, there's nobody better. Like they're just good people. It's like got that midwesterny kind of like feel, you know what I mean? So everybody's kind of nice and like supportive and shit.
Yeah,
And
it's poor, but people seem to like, I don't know. It's not it's poor and it's kind of shady, but it's like I don't know, there's that group of people there that are really, really cool, you know?
Detroit's the best. I'll say that. I don't care. Like I've never Detroit's like the best place for live music, I think.
The
But that's
fact of
my
the fact of the matter is too, it's like people bitch about it and talk about how fucking shady it is and how disgusting it is, but pretty much all cities are going that direction. Like it's bad and it's one of the worst, but I mean Cleveland's right up there with it. There's a lot that are really up there with it. And I'll tell you, fucking Seattle right now, the Emerald fucking city, like, the place that is supposed to be like the mecca of fucking cities is a fucking shithole right now. And same with Portland, man. I'm right in the middle of it. It's like it's right behind it. So it's not, the people make up for it, the buildings might be broken and shit, but it's a fucking rad city. It's one of my favorites. It's high on my list.
yeah, hey, before I forget, I'm looking at your guitar in the background there.
Oh yeah,
Do you have a junk sticker on there?
yeah. I got a Rachel Brooks sticker too, the one with the pony. It's
Oh
old and it's gross.
my
This is the one
god.
I used to tour with. It's broken as fuck, but
Oh
there's the
my god.
Rachel Brooks.
Oh my god. That's the first sticker I ever had
Yeah,
made.
I probably got it at that apartment. Yeah, and then there's the junk sticker
That's so cool. Oh
right
my
there.
god. Notice that. That's pretty neat.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool shit, man. I got the Sawyer family. This is the first guitar I ever toured with. It didn't make it very long because I toured with a fucking gig bag and not a shell case, like a moron. But yeah, it's definitely there for sentimental reasons. It is not good for much else anymore.
That's all right. That's cool, man.
Yeah, decorative. But yeah, I actually, if I turn the computer around, I'd actually just rearrange this room, and it's really dirty in here. But there is a poster from our Fort Wayne show with Sarah Gamble.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah, I say that. It's one of my favorite flyers. It's got like a
Yeah.
cartoon version of you and Brooks on it.
Yeah, you should turn it around. I want to see that.
It's hidden right now. It's behind one of the shelves. Either that or I took it down, and I can't remember because I took it down because I was going to move all the posters because there's only a small spot. But if I find it when I'm hanging shit back up, I'll send a picture of it to you. Wait a minute. Actually, wait a minute. I'll have to try to edit this out. No, I found it. There it is. Holy
Yeah,
shit.
feel
It's
free
right on
to
top.
edit.
It's right on top. And I literally just took this down. Like I said, it's only because I'm rearranging this room. But this is always like one of my favorite ones.
Oh yeah, that was. Oh my god, that's so cool, dude.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you've always been one of my favorites, man. I'm not just blowing smoke up your ass.
Well, no, I appreciate that, man, because like I know that you like our music. I know it's genuine, and that's so cool. That means a lot to both of us.
Yeah, yeah, and he's right up there with you too. It's not like, you know, I feel like I hope he doesn't feel this way, but sometimes I feel like you outshadow his songwriting a little bit. I don't think he cares all that much. I really don't, but
Right now, this is a little secret, and if anyone's still listening at this moment, they'll get to hear it. But Brooks is the real Rachel Brooke. Like we always talk about that because he literally knows me better than I know myself. Like like I was just thinking about that. We were talking about this, but like we write a lot of songs together, but like is he's behind a lot of this stuff that I do.
yeah.
You know what I mean? He really is. So he's the real Rachel Brooke.
He's the real Rachel Brooke. That's funny.
He
That's
is.
that's great. Well, shit, man, it's getting late. I could sit here and talk to you forever, but
I
I'll
know
let you
it's fun.
go.
I know. I gotta. Yeah.
Um, it was good talking with you. Thanks for coming on, man. Um, trying to think. Let's
Yeah, I
give
know.
your.
Thanks for having me
It's been a minute since we've given your website a shout out. So why don't
here.
you give your website
Okay, so
a shout out again?
rachelbrookemusic.com is where people can go, and they can get pretty much all my records digitally or physically. Um, and they can stay up to date. They can join my mailing list. They can look at any, shows and stuff like that. Everything is there. So, yeah.
Right on. And then you're on Spotify and all that good shit too, right?
Yeah, I'm all over the internet.
Well, I hope people. It sounds like you're getting a lot of attention for this album. So let's, yeah. I think there's a reason for that because it's really, really good. So anybody who's listening that hasn't listened to your shit probably should go listen to this album because it's fucking good.
Thank
But
you.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm certain that anybody listening to this probably already has, but to the three people that might not have, go listen because it's great. You're great, and I'm stoked to. We kind of fell out of touch for a long time. I think you kind of just jumped off of fucking social media. It seems like,
Good.
yeah,
There was years where I just didn't even have a social media because I was just didn't really have anything to say. You
yeah.
know what I mean? It's like
It got
I
really
just like
bad too for a while. I know you ducked out around the farm again days, like the tail end of that. I remember when you ducked out and things were getting really, really nasty. I think a lot of people ducked out around the same time you did, you know. So,
yeah,
and you're definitely the type of person that just like doesn't tolerate that shit. You're just like, whatever, I'm done. Bye guys.
yeah,
It's been good.
yeah. No, exactly. I mean, I'm not going to stick around a bunch of drama. I'm not getting involved in that shit. I got enough of my own.
Yeah, it seems like now you got a nice balance where you just only get on for, you probably seem like the type of person that just gets on to check your shit and then don't probably stroll too much to read what's going on.
I do. Lately, I do sometimes. It's a bad habit. Um, Social media is not really healthy, but it's like I'm just like, probably a lot of people, you just kind of get in these bad habits of just scroll, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
It's almost like its own world.
mhm,
It's like a fake world, I feel like sometimes, it's like you gotta step back and remember, like, that's not real, This other
exactly.
people's shit a lot of the times, like go outside, look around, breathe air, look at things in real life, not in pictures. Talk to people
Exactly.
too. Fucking talk to people. I think that's a lot of the problem with what's wrong with this fucking world right now is nobody talks. They type, you know? Take a minute to talk to somebody and then
Yeah,
you'll get that person's energy and feel compassion for them. And even if they might be a dick or might say things that you don't like, you might get the feeling that this person is unhappy or believes these things for like a reason. You know, it's I think that's what the world is lacking in all areas is just compassion for humans. You know, and I think the big reason of that is there's not a lot of human contact anymore, not in long periods of time. It's all over the internet. You know.
It's even worse now because of COVID, you know.
Mhm.
It's like people are not encouraged to be close to each other right now and go, so that's I think the reason why there's all this like weird energy in the world is because we can't be with each other. And we
But
can't.
I think, I honestly think this is going to be good because I think people didn't want to go out and do things. I think now that they've had it taken away from them, it might fucking now that you've been starved of it a little bit and reminded, like, hey, there's a world outside your fucking smartphone. You know, like I feel like people will go to shows more and maybe not just record live stream it. You know, like people are tired of watching music on live stream. You know, they
Yeah,
want to go see it in a club and drink a beer and talk to people, you know.
I think you're right about that. I think
I
you're
think in the
like,
long run, if we can get through it and not kill each other, everybody wears masks and wash hands and like they're supposed to, and they get this vaccine out. I think in hindsight, it'll probably be better for this country. You know, I'm not going to get political, but I think since that dipshit's out of office, that'll help a little bit, you know.
yeah.
Might get worse before it gets better, but I think that taking that tension out of things and then letting people get back to being with each other once that happens and being able to go out and do things, I think will
Mhm.
help. I think it'll bring them out more. So,
Yep, I agree too. I think that eventually this is all going to be over, and we'll be able to kind of get back to, the things that we love, and we'll kind of all be happier for it and hopefully find some peace.
exactly.
Hmm.
Yeah, at least go back to disagreeing, you know, agreeing to disagree and not, you know, fuck you, your opinion's terrible and blah, 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 you know.
I know. It's
You're
just like,
wrong. You're so wrong. If you voted for this guy, you're a racist, or, you know, everybody's
yeah,
a racist too, or fucking just like, God damn. Hey,
I
hey,
know.
hey. Nobody's
Yeah.
nice to each other. That's coming from me. I'm an asshole, you know? Like,
Yeah, no, I feel like there's like, and I think it's because like no one can, it's like everybody's just really, everybody's going through a hard time right now. It's not like, so everybody's like just like defensive about it all, and it might not even be coming from like anything real. It's just like
well,
people are
yeah.
just,
I think too, people don't control their thoughts as well as they use, you know, they just put it out on the internet. Before, you might think something, but not say it out loud, and then maybe like stew on that a minute and be like, wow, I was kind of wrong, you know?
mm-hmm.
Like, people just blurt it out through a keyboard, and then they're like, oh shit.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's like, they can say whatever they want on a keyboard, but in real life, do you think they would say that? I don't know. Probably not.
Yeah. I mean, maybe some of them, but at the same time, you know, give it a little bit of time. They might change their mind, you know? But
Right.
all right, lady. It was good talking to you.
Yeah.
Looking forward to getting the vinyl, man. And dust the.
Yep.
I'm actually working on getting my vinyl or my record player out and running because I got a new one for Christmas a couple years ago, and I've honestly probably only played it like 10 times. So I found a really cool record player stand like at like on the classified ads for like $20, and my neighbor who is helping me record all those tracks I sent you, he
Mhm.
was like right behind me, like, oh, I love that thing. So I went and gave it to him for helping me out after I went and bought it. So it's like a surprise for him. But I was so looking forward to having something to put my record player on, but I gave it away.
Yeah.
But now that your album's coming, I'll find something because I want to listen to it.
Oh, yeah. And you got the digital version too, right?
Yeah. Well, and I've listened to it on Spotify a bunch. So
Oh, cool.
yeah. Well, actually, probably play some songs. What song do you want us to end this with?
Well, I would say probably the title track,
Okay.
Loneliness in Me. That was a good one.
Sounds good. So, all right. Well, it was good talking to you.
All right. Yeah, you too. Well, we got to do this again, just for fun. I think that it was fun.
Yeah.
We'll have to get when Brooks is here or whatever, and we can all just kind of sit down and chat. Be
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. All right. I'll
Yeah.
see you later, Rachel.
All right, dude. I'll talk to you later.
Bye.
All right, bye.